From North London lights to the Mersey rain, to sky blue nights when the champions reign. Three voices arise when the whistle blows. Same beautiful game, different colors we chose. Football is life. Win, lose, and argue all night. From the terrace to the mic, football is life.
Hey folks, welcome to our latest episode of Football is Life. We're back and it's the best time of the week for me. Where do we start? I think we start with North London forever, whatever the weather. Things you love to see, Wazza. Oh no, it's Gabriel, the big man. He's ballooned it. It is his penalty. He just can't make it up, mate. Football won, Wazza. Did football win at the weekend? Yeah, there was only one winner, right? Waleed, I want to give you the mic in this one. Look at the grin. He's ready, right? I don't know if we got questions from Patrick Malarkey because I want them today. I really want them.
Oh, there is actually a question from Patrick Malarkey. It's sort of an end of season roundup. Like, okay, let me get this on the record, because the thing is that I respect Mike. I respect, to an extent, Patrick Malarkey and all the other Arsenal fans to an extent. Like, I feel sad that their team lost, but I'm not sad that Arsenal lost. I think that there's a difference between the two things. And you can live in that world, because the thing is, do you know what would be the worst thing in the world? A team that has 28% possession winning the Champions League final.
I think it was lower. 24, I think.
Dear God. That is just horrendous. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I want a team that actually plays the game to win. So yeah, like I'm not happy that Arsenal lost, but at the same time, if you're going to play like that, like I really, really, really wanted them to come out and actually do something.
Okay. Well, I think your mic might be a little bit muffled, mate, but yeah, just check it.
Okay,
yeah, no problem, mate. You're fine. No, we still heard it all. Mike, I'll be bringing you in next, Mike, because I want to genuinely, not being facetious here, which like I normally am. How do you feel? Obviously, like bittersweet end to the season. Like I've been there before with Liverpool. There is an element of like you won the Premier League. There's elation. You obviously were this close, a penalty miss away from, and then maybe going to sudden death and winning it. From winning the Champions League and having a unforgettable season. Mm-hmm. Like, give me your honest reflection on the game, like as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, so absolutely, gutted that they weren't able to pull it out, especially with the way it started. I mean, the Havertz finish was insane, and it was like, oh boy, here we go. I hate that it went to penalties. It sucks, but it is what it is. That's the game, right?
Yeah.
And the defense shut down the best offense in the tournament. And so for sure, the tactics that we played, prevented them from scoring the 900 goals that they've been scoring all season. We did not finish a few key chances, and it is unfortunate. It's frustrating. I don't think either team imposed their will on the game. It was very.
I wonder why that was.
What is happening? What am I hearing? When you say you couldn't finish a few key chances, Mike, I think you barely even reached the term few in terms of chances. I think that Arsenal had like maybe even two like actual chances. Like, what is? No, I'm sorry, but
he was like 0.4 or something.
I think it was 2 decimal places. Like, Jesus, I feel like, yes, you're right, Mike. Stoke could stop PSG, and they almost did. But like, it's a Champions League final. Like, play the game. Like, this is like you got. If you want to, like, this is why like I look at this season just with sadness. It's not because City lost. Like, I've congratulated every single winner, and like, don't get me wrong, like I don't like City losing the league, but God, it was better when Liverpool won it a couple of years ago.
Of course it is. We're better winners than them. It's true. But Mike, do you like, if you take a step back from your Arsenal tinted glasses, do you not like having watched the game, do you not understand how like it's impossible to like anything about Arsenal's performance as a football fan? Like it's just impossible. Like it's because it really. I mean, you talk about anti-foot. Like, do you know what the best moment in the whole bloody final was? Was because I was, again, the more I've watched Arsenal, the more I'm just like, I keep a timer and like they take over 60 seconds to take any sort of set piece, any set piece.
So your favorite thing was when the ref blew the whistle before Saka took
100%. Take
Yeah.
what you get, you bunch of arseholes. You want to be those shit houses. That's what you get. And I loved it because you know what? It's like they're playing for those margins. It's just, there's a horribleness in terms of like, if you're as a somebody, you know, I sat down with like Colin, my 9-year-old, like buzzing for the game. He emptied out and started going to play his console. He's already play FIFA because it's just so bad. It's unforgivable to me to play that way. Now look, the problem is, like, I know what Arsenal fans will say. Look, see, if you'd won it, nobody would really cared. You wouldn't really cared, right? You'd be like, well, so what? It worked. Like Mourinho's done it sometimes, and it's like, it worked. You won the trophy. But you can't. I think you just got to accept everyone's going to hate you because it's horrendous to watch. It's not just. It's actually just like pathetic. The difference. This is what I don't understand, right? So I hear people like Simon Jordan talking about an Arsenal. Oh, if we went and had a go at them, we'd get spanked 5-0 like Bayern Munich did. I'm like, what? I'm like, so I'm kind of, there's this myth around this art. I go, wait a minute. Okay, so like you've got the best defense in world football. There's no doubt, right? And I'm talking about, forget the midfield, just the back four are capable of handling. Like, I mean,
not that back four, but yes, the starting back four.
But you say that, mate. I tell you what, Mosquera and Capia played out of their skin, right? They played out of their. They really, and don't get me wrong, I understand being in the deepest low block known to man, right? With every man behind, playing a 6-4-0 like Scotland did under Craig Levein. It's embarrassing, right? As a Scotland fan, I've never been so embarrassed in my life, right? It's horrendous, right? You just don't do that. But my point is, Arsenal, I would understand it if that was like Bournemouth getting to a Champions League final against PSG. Go, yeah. If you do that, you will get slaughtered. The thing is as well, Bayern Munich were close to putting them out because Bayern Munich were scoring. It was tit for tat. So it's not like this PSG team, their defense is weak, right? That's their weakness. So the midfield to me is Arsenal. I feel physically, like technically Vitinha and that are good, but they're not big guys. And I feel like Declan Rice is technically good and he's physically dominant. I said it before the game, Mike, what's the point in playing Martin Odegaard anonymous as usual, right? Because I don't even know why you'd think about playing him if you're going to play that way. Like, just put another centre half in there. Like, honestly, like, what's the point? So it's just, look, it's one of those things. It's like, it's impossible to even remotely look. I should, my dad was an Arsenal fan. I should have been wanting Arsenal win that game. And I kind of wasn't trying to, but when I watch them, I can't. It's impossible. Because as much as PSG, don't get me wrong, I said to my mates at halftime, this is incumbent on PSG to be better and actually find a way to break them down because they aren't going to change because they're 1-0 up, right? But to be that, like, to not to go for a second goal, to have no ambition to do anything in the game except just, it's just like, it's not befitting of champions, in my opinion. It's especially with the talent that am I wrong, Mike? Like, do you not think like Bukayo Saka, like one-on-one with Mendes is like, he's not, I fancy Saka in that matchup every day. Trossard he's tricky, he's hard. Like, he did well against Hakimi. Like I just think you've got guys that I don't like your strikers. Okay, I think Gyökeres is pretty poor. He is a battering ram, but you've got Jesus, you've got Havertz, you have options there. Jesus. Yeah, but what you bring is you've got like Eze is like a quality attacking player.
So yeah, and I wondered why they didn't start him, and now that he's not traveling with England, that tells me something because of injury. So like there were some, Timber wasn't ready to go, right? So there was a few injuries that prevented, I think, what his preferred starting 11 would have been.
Oh, no doubt. Like, yeah, Calafiori as well would have.
I mean, and when I saw the wing backs that started, I thought, shit. Especially, like, I was stunned that Calafiori didn't start because of just that would have been a different story with the back four. And Calafiori and Timber are more attacking, right? So, there was some, they didn't have the preferred starting 11. Now, look. Injuries are part of the game. They have the deepest squad they've ever had. So I'm not using that as an excuse. It's just the reality that a manager has a preferred starting 11. This was not it.
Yeah.
So let's be clear. What we're saying is that if Timber and Calafiori were on the pitch, I guess I'd love a rough estimate as to how much of an impact you think they would have had there, Mike. Because right now I'm looking. No, okay, but let me
look at Calafiori and Timber and what they did in the Premier League, and you look at the goals that they scored and the attacks that they brought in and the whipping the balls in from the corners, significantly different.
I just don't think they would have used it.
Significantly different.
But if that's not the game plan, Mike, if the game plan is to sit in, then they don't do that. They just defend.
And I think the game plan was manufactured by the starting 11.
Come on, mate. He's done it all year.
Nah, I'm sorry. This is the thing. Like, this is what I don't buy, because the thing is, right now I'm looking at the stats. 0.35 XG. 0.35. That's criminal. 4 shots, 1 on target, and then like you didn't even outwin them on aerial duels. You committed 17 fouls. Like, it was just, oh God. 7 shots, 1 on target, 1 off target, 2 out of the box.
I take the point that Tim, like, again, if Tim,
they're not going to make that much of a difference.
No. If they play, I disagree, Mike, in terms of the game plan. They've been told to do the same thing, and that's why I think Calafiori would not have started regardless, because Cappy is more of a stay-at-home, less offensive player. That's why, to me, Calafiori doesn't start. Timber, I think, he can do everything, so he would start. There's no doubt. And then, when they needed a goal, maybe he would have made a difference. Like, I know he's not fit. But I think it's just that my big issue is, again, it's just impossible to root for. It really is. And I'm sure you'd be saying the same if this was Chelsea or something like that. I feel like you'd be like, this is not what we want to be seeing. And also, it's like, this team are too good. Like, you remember when Greece won the Euros, they had to play that way because they couldn't win it any other way. Like, I think part of the problem is Arsenal's run to the Champions League final. And by the way, they might never win this group of players now. Like, I feel that was such a big missed opportunity that will stick with them the rest of their lives, because I don't know you'll ever get an easier run to the final, like, ever, right? And I just think it's really hard to win, because if you have to go through a Bayern Munich, a Barcelona, like those types of teams, it's really tough to get there. So I just think it's one of those things that I think almost them scoring early was the worst thing. I said that before the game to Mike and Bill. It's the worst thing that can happen for the game. The best thing that could have happened is PSG scored early, and then you would have seen. Do you know what people realize? Like, I don't understand this, Mike. Like, please tell me you don't believe in that game if Arsenal went out and decided to go, right, we're going to go and have a go, and we're going to go and try and win the game. Like, you're not worried about getting tanked 5-0, right?
Not 5-0, no.
No, but you might get beat, but you might, but
yeah.
you also think you could go, because look at what Bayern Munich did to them in Paris, right? Mm-hmm. You're a better team than Bayern Munich, in my opinion. Yeah. Like, you're like, don't get me wrong, maybe their front three is better, but your midfield and your defense is, like, to me, light years ahead of theirs. Like, in my opinion, I don't think Bayern Munich's midfield is anything special, and I don't.
Bayern's. I thought you meant PSG's.
No. And PSG is like, I mean, Dembele, you can see he didn't last it. They had ended. Kvaratskhelia was injured. Like, they were carrying injuries. You could see that they weren't at their brilliant best either. I just think that was, and I actually thought, seeing the first, that Miles Lewis-Skelly was the one player that came out with any sort of respect for me in that game. He was sensational in the first half, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. In terms of, he was the only Arsenal player that showed any quality on the ball. But like, I just look at it and go, I just felt like, see, when you were pressing them, you kind of pressed the middle. I thought, okay, good, like go after them now, like really go. I felt they were there for. I really do think people go, oh, you opened up. I just think, like, Gabriel, look at some of them. I just think your defense is playing so well. They find ways to get in the way of shots. They find ways to win the one-on-one battles. It was just so disappointing, and like played. I think, you know, maybe as an Arsenal fan, like if I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm like, I'm just so upset because it just keeps playing into this narrative now that you almost can't deny. Where you go, it's impossible to deny the negativity and the time wasting. Like, it's just so disappointing. The only hope is, like, just kick on now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think people say, like, you know, I heard somebody saying that Arteta was maybe Simon Jordan, and that was my theory. They tried winning it a different way. They didn't quite get there. This is then he's over-rotated. Like, I think, see if Arsenal just played expansive football all year, they'd have won the title 2 months earlier, like, in my opinion, because the league was so, like, City weren't, like, nobody was really elite this year. Mm-hmm. And it wouldn't have ever got to the last day or second last day. So I just think maybe I just believe this Arsenal team are better than they believe they are, or Arteta believes they are.
This is exactly how I felt this entire season. Like, I genuinely thought that Arsenal, if they actually tried to play like better football. They just absolutely demolished the league, and it's been so frustrating seeing someone like Saka like completely waste a year. He had as many goals and assists as Casemiro this year,
and he had a lot of injuries this year.
Sure, but he's also a forward, right?
Yeah,
like he should be getting more of the pitch, and like
you put Jurgen Klopp in charge of that team. You put Iraola, anyone with an attack. To me, Saka's numbers double overnight.
Yeah,
I think he is. I've said this for years. I think he is quality. I think Trossard is a quality Premier League player. I really like him. Martinelli is he's an impact sub guy. It's fine. You need them, right? I think even though I don't like any of their three strikers that much, between the three of them, like they can all contribute like 10 goals. Like, I know Gyökeres has got more penalties and stuff, but it's like, so I do think that's the one area, but and then I look at their midfield and go like, God, I'm just like I know and I've seen it when Arteta, when year 2, 3, I was like, Arsenal, I love watching Arsenal because they were brilliant to watch, right? And they were foot in your throat. And you remember, Mike, you were camped in other teams' halves, like Liverpool under Klopp, and you just kept going at them, wave after wave after wave. It was relentless and it was brilliant to watch. And now we've got to this, like, just being like, and it's I don't even mind see if it was like counter, like I enjoy counter-attacking football. Like, see if Arsenal, you go one up, sit in.
It's basically the entirety of Fergie's United, right?
But then you use your quality to go, but you've always got that intent when you win the ball back to go and hurt them. Like, I don't mind that. Like, I'm fine with that as well. I enjoy watching that, but it's the 60 seconds for every throw, and it's just like slow. It's like, it's just it's brutal. And actually, honestly, I'm just glad they didn't win it. Not because I don't want just because I think it's the worst thing. I don't want teams like that winning the biggest trophies because that's not what I want to watch, right? And then you'll always have teams like that. I just don't expect it to be the best teams in Europe. None of them no one else that's in that echelon, Barcelona, any of them play remotely like that. And I think the Gunners are going to have to, like, I know they've got this great defense in it, and it's what you can argue it's worked. I just don't think this is going to keep working. I think they've got to make a change. Like, they have to flip the switch because I know they will become the Atletico. Everyone will just hate them forever and be like, I know you almost waste a generation of, like, what is a crop of young in their prime. Like, mostly there's not many Arsenal players that I'm not a big Odegaard fan, right? Not a big Gyökeres fan, but outside of that, they've got phenomenal play, like Timber. I mean, so many of their players that I just think are phenomenal. Like
Calafiori is incredible.
Like they're all, but I mean, they're like, I genuinely like Eze, like even Marino he's a really good player. Like, he's a good, solid, like, international player. He's a great player. Just don't waste it. That's what I would say. But anyway, listen, I would say, Mike, again, I've had a heartbreak. It's brutal, like, especially with the penalties. Like, it's just, I don't know why that's such a horrible way in any sport to lose such a big game. And this is why I'd almost put it in the teams and go, don't let it get to that. I'd rather go out on my sword and go, do you know what? The guy had a moment of quality and it's like fair play. Then I just think that's always brutal.
I would have rather lost in extra time than
100%, especially for Gabriel. And to be fair, I thought Marquinhos was class. Console, I think that just showed
that was absolutely class. Yeah.
Yes, and I think PSG are classy winners, so Arsenal could maybe learn something from them. Maybe. I don't like some of the again, Mike. It's all the stuff. Even Declan Rice is doing it now, where they're kind of reacting to every little thing that everyone's ever said about them. I'm just like, guys, your players, rise above it, mate. You're professional. You've just won the Premier League. Just just have your moment. Like, do Liverpool did. Get Calvin Harris on the bus. Have a wee dance. Have a good time.
To sum all that up, would I prefer an attacking, in the old days of beautiful Arsenal football? Absolutely. The team's identity is defense right now. And so I don't disagree that they have a lot of quality in the midfield and that they should be a more attacking side. Absolutely. The other thing that I will say is, this is not a single year of just like dog piling on and shitting on Arsenal. This is like a decade of this stuff. So the team and the fans, fuck you all. Don't care.
It's
right?
called
Like,
it's called karma. Just
I don't know. It's that.
well,
That's
no, just
bullshit.
hear me out. Hear me out. There's a club. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're called Tottenham Hotspur. And I'm pretty sure your fan base have been doing that to them for 20 plus years, I think, if I'm not wrong. It's been so. Look, you reap what you sow, right?
When so you're going to isolate would you not say that the Merseyside derby is
It's not the same. It's not the same
bloodfest,
level.
and that you thrive as much in the other team's loss as you do your own win?
No, not for us. It's not
Bullshit.
the same. It's not the same. Mate.
Bullshit.
It's not the same. It's not the
Also,
same.
Arsenal. I need to correct something. Arsenal have not been relevant for the past 10 years. Just maybe the like past few. So like I don't know. I think we need to clarify that one too.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No. I would say, Mike. One thing, to be fair, I've said this before. Like that there is this I say pile-on. There is a pile-on, right? And I so totally understand it. So see, from like fans like you come out swinging. I am okay with that. I expect it, right? I would do a similar thing. I'd defend my team. I just think, see the play, like the figure at the play, like it. I don't know what it is. Like, there's just something about like elite teams to me that the way that this team behaves just doesn't sit right with me, and it just doesn't. I think they're the people that always have to be better than that, and I think it's like, because I think it's almost that, like, what it shows me is they pay attention to all this stuff. That's
it's hard
my issue.
To miss it when it's
not hard.
years and years of it.
You tune it out and you just go. You do your talking.
Okay, they're humans, Ross. They're humans. They're not robots.
I know,
and
but
when you hear years of this shit, finally there's a breaking point, and like me, fuck you.
So basically, what you're saying is, if Tottenham ever win the league, they can just do what they want.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. There we go. Listen, you heard it first from Boston Mike, the biggest good. Listen, you know what I love is with Mike, he's got this Gooner thing, but it's the Boston sports fan that's in there that just really listen. Right. You try and go to Boston and slate one of their sports teams, they will run you out of that fucking. You don't leave that town. You get buried in that town. Believe me.
We're not as bad as Philly, but we're close.
Yeah, I mean, it's but listen, look, the season comes to a climax. The good news is we do have a World Cup to look forward to in just over a week. We'll come to that at the end of the show. What we wanted to do is put a bookend in this season and do a little bit of reflection. Obviously, we're between us now. We cover 3 teams. Obviously, I think Pat lost the will to live with Tottenham, which is fair enough. So, and not as much to speak about there. But we want to reflect and look at maybe what the season means, and then we'll talk a little bit about what we expect from our teams in the off season. But before we get to that, which will be our transition, is the big story right now. Now, obviously, we have this weird period where there tends to not be a ton of transfers at this time, right? That
although Fabrizio Romano's looking for every here we go he can find.
He's trying to find anything he can go, here we go. Like somebody spotted somewhere. He doesn't have anything, right? What we do have, though, is a domino effect of the managerial merry-go-round. Yep. We now had Marco Silva. Obviously, Arne Slot has been let go. Areola is going to be appointed there. There was rumors that Palace wanted him. They might have to move on. There's talk of them looking at the guy at Lens in France. Now Marco Silva departs Fulham. He now becomes available, right? So you can have this where Glasner's available. He's out there. So there's these teams that have lost managers, maybe looking for other ones. We don't really know how this is all going to play out. So I think that's the thing to keep an eye on right now is Areola is going to land at Liverpool. What's the domino effect there in terms of what happens at Fulham, what happens at Crystal Palace, what happens at Bournemouth, right? So I think that's going to be really interesting to kind of keep an eye on and see. Yeah. There's rumors of Kieran McKenna from Ipswich, newly promoted Ipswich to Fulham. So I think that's to me is like the main Premier League story right now that I'd be keeping an eye on. But yes, one of those is Areola is the new Liverpool boss. So I'll maybe start with a reflection of, I'll keep the reflection brief and I'll talk more about moving forward because the Arne Slot era is over. And I'm a bit mixed emotions about that. As I've said before, I do feel like, I don't know, I think he did, maybe it's partly his own fault, but I just don't love the fact he won the league a year ago. And I just think people have short memories. And yeah, I'm not saying that he was the guy, but I thought he maybe deserved another year, but here we are, and I'm happy with Areola because my complaint has been it's been crap to watch because I'm honest about my team, and I just call a spade a spade. But no, what I would like to see is this: is my hope now is I'd actually been thinking about like what do we need to do, and we're not going to do these things because some dominoes have fallen. But I just felt like to me, it was really simple. I was thinking about where do we need to strengthen? What do I want to happen? I want Alexis McAllister to have a phenomenal World Cup, and then we sell him because I think his legs are gone. So Alexis, have a big
Just
one
like
out
he
in
did
America.
4 years ago, right?
Yeah. Just have a
When you
brilliant
bought him.
World Cup. We'll sell you. We'll at least get our money back, and then we'll move on. I want us to move Gravenberch forward. I want us to sign Fernandes from West Ham. To me, it's the biggest no-brainer transfer in the Premier League. I don't think they need the money. I don't think the release clause or the money is like wild either. It's not like 100 million. I heard there's something about 40. They maybe want 80, so maybe you land somewhere in the middle, 50 million. I think he is a phenomenal player. You also take Jared Bowen, who I've been saying for years, and that is a short term. And I know Liverpool we probably won't do it, but it's a very immediate replacement for Mo Salah and or at least some of that contribution. Jared Bowen can do it. I think he's a phenomenal player, character. So I would make those two signings. We should have just taken Senesi, and in hindsight, I don't know why in a free you go, like if Kanate is not signed up. I just think the problem is with guys like Senesi or Van Hecke at Brighton, I think there's always a bit of risk with these guys that haven't played at the top. So if you get them on a free, like you de-risk the transfer. So that's the other one that I would, like their transfers, I think they are just like complete no-brainer transfers to me that just immediately improve your squad, that allow you to play Gravenberch one forward with Szoboszlai, right? And also I would take Harvey Elliott back and keep him at Liverpool full time, because I just think it's horrendous what's happened to him this season. I know Emery's kind of said that. I don't know where the portion of blame lies in terms of the ins and outs of the contract situation, but he's never let us down when he's can. I just think he adds something in centre midfield where we're a bit light, especially if Curtis Jones is leaving, Joe Gomez maybe moving on. And I think the other one I want which becomes really spicy now, is Junior Krupi. I think I don't. Again, look, if it's a wild price, no. But if you can get him for a reasonable price, I like that he's young. I think he's dynamic. I think he plugs that gap that Ekitike is going to leave being out till probably Christmas. Yeah. So they're to me, really sensible, realistic moves. And this is outside of let's go and get Adam Wharton or let's go and get Elliot. And, these guys that will be 100 million, like they're going to be big money signings. I'm not saying we shouldn't do that. Or this guy Diamande, apparently we're in this winger. To me, there's always a risk. I'm like, those signings to me, because they're kind of within the league, they're just de-risked more. So they're the ones that I think if we did something like that in the transfer window, like 5 players like that, I think that just stabilizes the team quite well. So that's what I'd like us to do.
But do you think that that's actually realistic? I mean, I actually want to bring it to Patrick Malarkey's question, which is, I'm going to read to you a list of players, and I'm going to ask you how much you got for them in total as a result. And these are all players that have left since 2020.
Can I guess?
Iber Konate, Mo Salah, Andy Robertson, Trent Alexander. Yeah,
10 million.
So you have seen the tweet, right? Roberto Firmino, Naby Keita, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, James Milner, Divock Origi, Loris Karius, Ginny Wijnaldum, Adam Lallana, and Nathaniel Klein. So what's 10 million?
So what's Patrick's question?
What is happening? Like, what has happened to the transfer department in your club to allow for just 10 million for all of that to go out?
Patrick, honestly, this is again. We just go at the bottom of the barrel, don't we? With again, Patrick, look, thank you for the question, mate. Obviously, and good luck. He's doing a new venture on his own. Good luck with that, mate. You'll do fabulous. But if you put some of the effort you put into your career that you do into these questions, I would appreciate it, because that's just a poorly researched. You've seen a tweet and you haven't even thought about it. Okay, so you just listed off a bunch of names, Wazza. Okay, and there's a common denominator, right? Okay, what mistake a lot of teams make is you hold on to these guys too long, right? And there's almost like 80-90% of those guys, you're going like James Milner, end of career. Firmino, it was all Robertson. Even though I love him, I would love him to stay. He's coming. He's not peak. He's on the decline, right? Salah on the decline, and you move on. And look, yeah, if you can get money for these guys, but I think part of that is, see, when these guys have been at the club so long, having them going a free gives them optionality and a final payout. So I just think this is part of us partly looking after the players, but also not getting into signing up guys that are past their peak into long contracts. Because net you tend to not financially do well. So I have no problem look, we sold Coutinho for 100 whatever million. We actually stole that from Barcelona, right, and put them into financial turmoil. You love to see it, right? So I just think that's just a poorly researched question. I'd understand it if you go, oh, like the only one was Trent, but if you read up what actually happened is they offered to pay Trent a wedge. He took less money. He just made his mind up. I want to play for Real Madrid. Fair enough, mate. Like, there's nothing the club can do if a player wants to run his contract down, because Madrid say, we ain't paying 100 million for you, big boy. You're going to come at this price and you're going to be in a free transfer. Do you know what? If that's what you want to do, mate, like, you've been brilliant for us. So I have no problem. So I think, again, as usual with Patrick, poorly researched question. But yeah, anyway, let's just be better next time. That's it. There you go. Bit of radical candor there, Mike. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to Manchester City. So Maresca, is it confirmed? Is it? Yeah. No.
I think it has been.
I don't know that I've seen anything official yet. Actually, no. Yes.
I think it has been revealed like shortly after the season ended.
I thought so too.
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
let me find out.
It's not been fully confirmed yet, actually, but I think that.
I don't think it is.
No, I don't think it has been confirmed.
Oh, I know
yet.
why. I remember now. Do you know why? So here's the again. This is just a sidebar, real quick. I remember now. It's I think the challenge is it's one of those things where obviously he was at Chelsea. Chelsea now believe I read this that I think that he was given a tap whenever just before he left and was told, look, Pep's decided to like. We want, little tap, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, right? Hello there. He's then gone, right, I'll just do the toys.
Is that why he lit flames in London to get out of Chelsea?
Poured petrol over himself, lit himself on fire, ran out the door. So I think the
116. Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. So no, but I think the thing is though, that the problem is, Mike, and we all work in business, we know this, like you have non-compete and stuff.
Yeah.
The problem is there is going to be money. I'm told there is definitely money. And I think what I've heard is they have I think that's what's delaying it, because there's going to be a wedge to pay, I think, unless they can legally get their way out of it like they do with these 115 charges. So basically your club's just sketchy. It's a front for the mafia.
I would love for clubs to not be sketchy.
Yeah, listen, they play nice football, Mike, but they're a front for criminal activities. So
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
That's
pick your poison. You got to pick your poison. Not everyone can be like,
I'd rather win the trophy and be hated because of the style of play than be financially sketchy.
I really disagree, because I think that the beauty that we put out there, like, and also Ross, talk to me about all of the pure charitable like deeds that Redbird Financial do. Like, they must be like hearts of gold, those guys. Like,
I mean, compared to you make us look like you make us look like fucking Mother Teresa, mate.
Great to hear.
Until this,
I love an ethical billionaire.
Say a thing.
Yeah. You love
I love an ethical billionaire. It's wonderful. Anyway,
maybe we should stoop to like going, I'll have this company that the parent company sponsor all of these things for like £10 billion and then fund all of our transfers. So look, at the end of the day, mate, your titles are hollow. We all know that, right? Okay, they're shrouded in that, just like Arsenal's are.
I mean, they're taking up a lot of space in our trophy cabinet.
Yeah, well, they might take them all away and then there won't be any space. That'll be no problem at all.
The last pure Premier League trophy, the last pure win was Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool team. We all know it, right? You bunch of suckers, right? But anyway.
But what about last season, just now? Like, Arsenal just won the league. Let's rehash that conversation.
But they're under a cloud for playing shite football and being the worst team ever to exist in the history of the Premier League.
I love how you also completely dodged Slot's win, but yeah, okay, that's fine. You're a good.
Just because Arne, nobody likes him now. Nobody likes Arne.
Okay, so you can. Classic, not fickle Liverpool fans. Anyway, what does my club need? We need to get a Fernandinho back in the team. Like
Matías Fernandez at West Ham is the answer for every team.
Yeah, right. Like
I honestly believe that. Like I think that we're reasonably okay on the fullbacks. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd prefer not to have Matías Núñez at right back, but I will survive with him. The thing that really needs to be clogged up is the midfield, right? Like Gvardiol's coming back, so we've got a left back. Maybe Nico O'Reilly can actually be formed into Rodri's heir and successor. That could be a really reasonable shout. Obviously, there's a huge delta there. We need to do a thinning out as well. We need to get rid of Savinho. We need to get rid of Nico Gonzalez. We need to get rid of Rico Lewis. I think we could probably do with maybe cutting Phil Foden loose if we've got Ryan Cherky. Like, there's no point in keeping him for no reason. Like, there's a number of things that we can do to try and thin down the squad a little bit, so that then whoever, Maresca or whoever else comes in, like, can actually do something. Like, I still personally want Nagelsmann. I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be great. But I think firmly we just need our midfield to get a fresh look of paint. Our attack is fine. Defense is reasonable, can improve. Some people are still betting in like Gahey needs preseason with the new manager. Like all of those things, they can be handled. But the midfield is an absolute liability.
That's because Rodri's cooked, mate. Rodri's cooked.
After winning the Ballon d'Or, yes, he is absolutely cooked. But no, he's tired. He's tired, like, because he's just basically had to carry that team for a long time. So we could definitely do it. Like, I would rather we reformed Nico O'Reilly to be that role rather than like go in the transfer market. Like, I think we have the people. We just need them to actually fit the role.
Yeah, you need at least one fullback, I would say. At least one. Nunez is not the
guy. Think Nunez is not the guy, but at left back we have Nuri, who's done well. We also have Gvardiol, who can play there, who's done well in that role traditionally.
Centre half. Gvardiol needs to be centre half with Gahey for me.
No, but we've got Gahey, we've got Diaz, we've got Kusanov, we've got Gvardiol. Like, that's a decent set of people. I don't think we need any more centre backs. I think we're fine. We've got
fullbacks. You need at least one. At least one fullback.
The attack is fine. Yes, I agree. But the thing is, how many quote unquote proper like the only right back that I would consider us having is Trent.
Yeah, maybe he won't go to City, but he'll come back. He wouldn't go to Man City. But I'm trying to think.
You don't know. I don't think that he'd go to Liverpool. Like, I think after the amount of abuse,
I don't think he would do that.
No. I think he could go to City. Stranger things have happened.
I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
But honestly, I'm still not sold on Maresca. I want to see how preseason works. I wasn't fully convinced with his style of play at Chelsea. I mean, maybe he brings Enzo Fernandez with him and they can do something good. But at the same time, do I think we need Enzo Fernandez? No. Is he good? Yes. But I'd still rather us sort of stay within our squad who is actually there. Like, there's no reason for us not to leverage Nico O'Reilly more effectively.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels like with Klopp, like feels like Pep's left them in a decent position, right? And I know they're kind of not the force they were, but they were never going to be. But I think there's definitely players with upside. Like, I think Cherki can be better. I think Marmoush can be better. I think Doku's showing like he's starting to find a bit of consistency. Obviously Foden's a big one, the big question mark. Can you find him a role and get out of him what you know you can get out of him? I just think, yeah, you're right. Centre midfield seems to be the balance in there, and I think a lot of it hinges on Rodri and what he's going to do. Obviously Bernardo Silva's away, big miss, big character. That's probably the biggest risk for me, is like it's not just how good he is, it's the character he is in that dressing room. So yeah, you're right. I think City maybe they'll do a bit of business. It's maybe two or three, couple of midfielders, maybe a right back, and then you're kind of going in going, Although I still think Haaland has been pretty poor recently, but
he tends to have a case of the Salahs. Like Haaland and Salah do the same thing every year, which is they start incredibly bright and then they tail off like mid-season for a little bit and then they come back. I am actually, to be honest, now that Bernardo Silva's left, I'm excited for Gianni Rinders to actually come back and play, because like Bernardo Silva kept him out of the team completely, and that made sense because like he is Bernardo Silva, and also he was having a fantastic season.
I thought you were going to say excited for Reinders to get transferred. I was like, yeah.
God, no. That guy is like a hot knife through butter when he plays. I'm keen.
You like him because he's handsome, mate. That's why I just like.
He basically looks like me. No, I think. No, but what I'm saying is like I'm keen. I'm excited for this season. I feel more optimistic about this season than last season, because also Cherki feet under the table can be really fun.
Okay. There you have it, Mike. What about your team, Arsenal Gunners? They're already linked with I've seen
with Morgan Rogers is a big rumor out there. Would love to see that. I think there's certainly some attacking midfield capability in that young man, right? So
don't worry, Arteta will coach that straight out of him.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what he do. So there's three things I think that I would like to see. I would love to see the Morgan Rogers thing happen. I want to see Declan Rice named the captain of the squad, and I want to see I still don't think we've solved the striker problem.
Yes, so, correct. You're with me. Gyökeres is not the guy, is he?
I don't think that he's the guy. I mean, look, we said this at the start of the season that coming from any league to the Premier League, it is a different brand of football, and so I never expected him to score 30 goals in his first season, right? Like that just wasn't going to happen. Would like to see another year behind it, but he's just, with the way the rest of the team is structured and what he's good at, I just don't think it's a match. I think he's a great havoc creator for the last 30 minutes, because he's got some wheels, but he's also getting on, like, he's not young. So yeah,
if you want to have it creator, there's a guy, Darwin Núñez, I could send him your way. He's the same.
Screw him. So,
but the irony is, like you say, like, you're right. Gyok isn't, his strengths aren't like being.
They don't match up with the way the rest of the team plays.
Like guys like Rice are actually good at football, and he's not. So it's like listen, his touch. He's got he's got an absolutely woeful first touch.
He's got the turning circle of a tugboat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. But, it doesn't make up with
he's just, listen, if he's a guy that's coming off the bench, you're happy.
Sure. 100%.
Same as Havertz, right? Havertz coming off the bench for me is an okay. I don't love Havertz, but he's an option, but you need the guy, is what you're saying. You need the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was some early talk about Julian Alvarez. I don't think that's happening. So, and I don't think that he's the answer either. But I think that those are the three things I want. Rice to be captain. Well, and at fourth. So sounds like Saliba is going to play for France and then have back surgery. And so might need another center back.
Mate, you've got 4.
You have 17. What the hell?
I don't care. I don't care.
Mike is fully in Mikel's master plan. Just more center halves, right? This is how we do it now. This is how we win. Long throws, corners, more center halves, mate. That's all they care about.
That pairing is lethal. And if he's going to have surgery after the World Cup, he's not going to start with the team. So
we'll see.
Has there ever been a situation where a team has won the league with the same tactics 2 years in a row?
Yes, Man City have done it. Your team did it.
Yeah.
No, we actually do fiddle a little bit, but the thing is that Arteta just reinforces the Tony Pulis thing every year.
No, I don't think Arsenal won't win it playing the way they played this year.
I agree. They need to be more attacking. They need to be more attacking.
Listen, I think of how different it could have been. Like there was rumors they almost signed Ollie Watkins. It fell through. To me, he's a level above Gyökeres.
Yeah, I would love to see Jared Bowen come to Arsenal as well. But
to sit in the bench.
Yeah, that's right.
Just about to say that.
There's no way Arteta would start. I'm trying to think who realistically, like Ivan Toney maybe, or I'm trying to think who realistically, who do you think, like, in terms of a striking option? The boy Thiago at Brentford, sorry, Danny Welbeck. Let's get Danny in for a laugh. No,
stop it.
No, stop. Like you don't know who the guy is then? No.
I don't know.
Not many of them. There's not many.
No.
Yeah, maybe
that's the spot that we still.
Calvert-Lewin, would you take him?
No.
Too handsome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, we'll see. Okay, well, that's the rundown from the Arsenal fans. There we go. There's an end of season wrap. Let's look forward now. We have a World Cup, so Mike's going to do a wee bit of magic here. Look at this. Something you prepared earlier. So yes, we are going to switch focus.
We're on the World Cup.
Thanks, Mike. Yes, that's it. Mike is out in the States. Everyone's getting ready for it out there. So lots of excitement. Yes, but we're going to spend maybe 5 minutes or so closing out, just kind of talking a little bit about the World Cup. We'll talk maybe about some of the rule changes to the way the referees are going to referee it, which is all born out of Arsenal being shithouses. Which you love to see, them just putting David Raya on every picture. We have the World Cup. We're going to start switching focus to that now. We're going to do a deep dive episode next week on the World Cup, where we're going to talk through who we think are the runners and races to win it, who we think will win it, dark horses, maybe banana skins and certain groups of death, top scorers, etc. We'll cover it all on our episode next week. But let's talk a little bit about the World Cup. Mike, you're out there. There's been a bit, people kind of a bit like a lot around ticket prices, usual stuff, like people aren't thrilled. How is there a build up? Do you feel locally in this, like excitement building? I mean,
absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so every year, for as long as I can remember, it's always the fastest growing sport. And you wonder, like, how long can it be the fastest growing sport? But it is. Yes, there are pockets in the country where it resonates. Carolinas, where I am, is a big one, right? So there's a lot of excitement here, for sure.
Do you have any games there? No? Do you have any games
in Charlotte? I want to say
Charlotte. Okay, there is. Okay, I wasn't sure because I know they're everywhere.
I have to check. I have to check that. but I know Atlanta's not far. Like, so there's stuff that's close to where I am for sure.
Yeah.
But not in Raleigh, unfortunately. So which is nice and close to me. Yes, there is excitement. Now that is balanced with like Miller doing a whole bunch of ads around get excited for the American team. I'm sorry, we are ass.
Mate, you've got Poches at the wheel, mate. You're good.
Which is, you know, Your Honor, the defense rests. We've got a Spurs manager leading the US team. We're screwed. So you know, I don't think that, you know, best case we get out of the group and then get embarrassed. And I just don't think that there's a lot of hope there. So but yes, there is a lot of excitement for it. Ticket prices are starting to calm down a little bit. You're starting to see them.
I saw that. Me and my mates were talking about myself. A few of my mates are going to be in Miami for the Scotland-Brazil game, and they actually might get tickets. I think it has calmed down a bit now. Where people
has calmed down for sure.
I knew this would happen. Because what I didn't know, Mike, is this guy Marcus, this guy I told you, he was a waiter in a restaurant in Atlanta. And by the way, no games in North Carolina. Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta.
Yes.
But he's going to a game in New York. He said if you win the lottery system in America, you can buy as many tickets as you want. This is what's driving the prices up. But what happens now is people then go, they can't get rid of the tickets and prices, you know, supply and demand, right? So it might even out. But okay,
what's interesting is that's, of course, you know, leave it to the US to do that. The matches in Canada, they actually implemented legislation that you could not scalp the tickets.
I love that.
So in Toronto, there's no, you know, inflated price.
And unfortunately,
Scotland, Canada, well done you.
Yeah, Scotland are playing 2 games at Foxborough in Boston and 1 in Miami, so I need to. But anyway, look, we're going to enjoy it. I was out in Atlanta in the Stella Artois. I got a free glass World Cup. There's lots of. Do you know what I loved? I know it's like going back in time. You know, McDonald's did the Coke glasses. Let's bring that back, guys. Let's just get lots of free stuff for the World Cup for everyone. That's like, I love that shit, right? Let's talk about what we'll do just to preview a little bit. We won't get into the teams and stuff. We'll do that next week because that'll take more time. But we will talk about the rule changes because it feels very connected to what we've witnessed this year, certainly in the Premier League, but also in European football, with some of the rule changes that they're implementing. So one interesting one is this VAR can look. I think it's with attacking players, and this is for Arsenal blocking everyone. Basically, that's the genesis of this trend of blocking players. They can punish that now. The VAR used to not look at anything before the ball was sort of played into the box, whereas now if Mike blocks my path to the ball deliberately and it's deemed to be that, then they can do it, which I like that they're dealing with it, but I just think, God, we're going to have so many VAR delays.
They're going to over-rotate so badly that it's going to be as egregious as you could imagine for the game, for the group stage, and then they'll calm down. But it's going to mess with some group stage matches.
It is. And then the other big ones, there's lots, you can sort of Google this and we'll get into it more next week. But the other one that I think I love is what we talked about in this podcast. So boys, we do know what we're talking about. Ages ago, it's the 5 second. They're doing a 5 second rule for goal kicks and throw. And somebody told me it's corners, but I checked. It's not. I said that there's no way that's enough time for a corner. I said you need to give them at least 20 seconds, maybe 30, because people have to get up the pitch. Right. So the referee, what I've read is they're going to be, if a ball goes ever thrown, they will then signal, okay. And I don't think it'll be when the ball goes out. I think you pick it. I don't know how they're going to manage.
I think it's when they pick it up. Yeah.
Well, I think that's a problem because they'll just walk slower to get the fucking ball, right?
Correct,
but the point is the referee just puts up signals 5 seconds. And if you don't make the throw in, then that goes the other way. Goal kick, the same thing. A corner gets awarded, I believe, if they don't take it quick enough.
That is, I mean, from a goal kick to a corner is a big throw in. Okay. Unless you're, close and you've got a long throw specialist, but goal kick to a corner is a big deal.
Big swing.
Is this why Raya wasn't selected for the World Cup? Because they knew that he'd be largely useless.
Sure. He's not he's selected, no?
I don't think he is.
What? He must be in the squad.
I'm pretty sure he's not.
He has to start, Mike. He has to start. He's how would he not?
Goalkeeper in the world right now. I mean,
he is. I hate to say it, but
say what you want.
Oh, okay, he is actually there, but I don't think that he is going to be starting. I'm pretty sure it's Unai Simon.
Yeah. Well, Unai Simon has been the starter, but Raya surely has got to start for Spain.
Can he actually play without killing the ball for 15 minutes?
I don't know. I think he's the form he's in this year. You have to play him. God, but yes, anyway, we'll see. But yes, look, some interesting rule changes. Look, it's going to be super exciting. Some of the game time, the kickoff time, especially for Scotland games, suck, which is the only downside. I think the first game's like a 2 a.m. kickoff here, and then 11 p.m. and 11. The 11 p.m. ones are fine, but the 2 a.m. is a little bit of a kick in the teeth. So, but anyway, listen, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time. And yes, we will get into it all in our next episode. So we're going to preview the World Cup. We're going to give you everything that we know. We'll do a bunch of research.
Not much.
Yes, and we will get into who we think, and we'll talk about our own teams respectively, apart from Wazza, whose team didn't make it. So, so do you want to take England, Wazza, just to no?
God, no. Are you kidding? That's like the last team that I want to take. I'm just going through the list as to who
I tell you what, you pick a team you like. You can cover them for us, okay? But Mike and I's teams are going to be there. Love to see it.
I think I have to go for Norway, probably.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, you can preview
probably.
Norway and tell us how great they're going to be.
Sure.
But yes, okay. Well, listen, I think with that, look, that's a wrap to this episode and the Premier League and European season. But the good news is we don't have that long summer of nothingness, right? We do. That's it. We don't have to go away and have hot girl summers. We can just watch the World Cup, get the beers out. Looking forward to doing that. And thanks to everyone for listening. Patrick Malarkey, be better. It's not the first time I've said that. But yeah, thanks for listening, and we will see you next week for the World Cup preview episode. See you then.
Cheers,
See ya.
From the terrace to the mic, football is life.